here in Baltimore. It's actually quite calm here in Baltimore. Weather-wise, 46 degrees. It is cloudy. The sun is supposed to pop out at some point. They've had a great weekend here in Baltimore with the Army-Navy game yesterday, and now the Ravens and the Jaguars. Kudos to the staff here at M&T Bank Stadium for turning things around so quickly. Justin Tucker is set to kick it off for the Ravens. The Ravens won the toss, and they elected to defer, so the Jaguars will receive. That's Jordan Todman back deep to receive. He's going to have some more responsibility today. We already know that he's a pretty decent kickoff returner, but he's going to be in the backfield a little bit. So we are underway from Baltimore, the Ravens and the Jaguars, and Todman is going to return this one. He's got some blockers, and the gap closes up very quickly, and he is stopped inside the 15. So now the rookie Blake Bortles will go to work against one of the best defenses in the National Football League. The interceptions, those are the big numbers for Bortles that he has to pull down.
Here, as of late, he's done a better job with his ball security. Earlier in the season, he was averaging about 2 interceptions per game. He's settled down a little bit, but still, the passing game has been a project for Blake Bortles.
Well, there is an injured player down on the field as we speak. It's one of the injured Ravens return men. While they tend to him, we'll take a break. When we come back, the Jaguars will have the ball. Actually, we're going to stay right here. Well, it's nice to see that he's up and sitting without any issues at this point. It is Terrence Brooks who's the injured player. Well, right there, he may have got undercut by his own teammate trying to work off a block. That's exactly what happened, Adam.
Another injury to a secondary that has been ravaged by injuries so far this season.
Terrence Brooks, the rookie out of Florida State, being carried off the field as we speak. So we'll try to get you an update on him. Allie LaForce is down on the sidelines following him to the bench and to the locker room. Blake Bortles going to work. Toby Gerhart is the deep man in the offset I formation for the injured Denard Robinson. That's Mercedes Lewis in motion. He may be a focal point today. So Gerhart gets the first touch of the afternoon, and he gets to the outside before Darryl Smith knocks him out of bounds. All right, let's take a look at this Jaguars offense. Brandon Linder is the rookie right guard. He's getting better. He understands the system offensively. Meanwhile, Mercedes Lewis, we said, is going to get some touches, but Toby Gerhart needs to perform today and moving forward for the injured Denard Robinson.
Yeah, he has to have a big game. They must take pressure off of Blake Bortles. And remember, this is one of the top rushing defenses in the National Football League, especially at home. Fourth
best in the NFL. The handoff goes to Gerhart, running right, breaks the tackle, has the first down before C.J. Mosley takes him down. All right, this Ravens defense so talented. Jernigan is playing for Haloti Ngata, who is serving the 4-game suspension. He's getting better. So is C.J. Mosley. But Sizzle, that's your guy right there, Adam. Terrell Suggs and Asa Jackson back with it after an injury with a depleted secondary for the Baltimore Ravens. On first down, off the play fake, Bortles' first pass is caught by Shorts at a gain of 9 on the play. Darryl Smith with the tackle. That's a good sign that Shorts makes that catch.
Well, it's a great sign. Last week, Cecil Shorts was targeted 10 times. Of those 10 targets, he only caught the ball twice. And so for him, in the early part of this game, to catch a slant in traffic with C.J. Mosley coming from the inside trying to hunt him up is an excellent sign for Bortles in the passing game.
Second down and 1. Jed Fish, the offensive coordinator, told us yesterday, said a lot of it was drop passes, but also the passes weren't on target from Bortles. Here's Gerhart for the 3rd time on this drive. And he gets across the 40. Let's check in with Allie LaForce, who's got an injury update. Allie?
You got it. Terrence Brooks has a right knee sprain. He's questionable to return. Guys, I watched him walk down the stairs, or try to walk down the stairs back to the locker room where they're evaluating him further, and he couldn't put any pressure at all on that right leg. They had to carry him down the stairs. I'll let you know when I know more.
All right, Allie, we appreciate that. Allie's had a busy weekend. Yesterday doing the Army-Navy game with Vern and Gary. It was a great weekend here in Baltimore. Storm Johnson checks in for the first time for the Jaguars. The pitch goes to Johnson, running left. some positive yards on the ground so far for the Jaguars on this first drive.
Yeah, when we talked to Jed Fish yesterday in our meetings, he said, look, we under-challenge that's in front of us. These guys are really big. They play excellent run defense, but the key is to try and be patient. We've got to find a way to stick with it, take the pressure off of our quarterback, and hopefully as the game wears on, we're going to be able to get bigger chunk yardage in the run game.
Averaging just under 100 yards per game on the ground as a team. This is the 6th play of this drive. It'll be second down. In motion is Nick Jacobs off the play fake. Bortles rolling from the pocket, throws on the run, has Mercedes Lewis, and he dropped the ball. Well, that's something you don't expect, even though it was a little behind him.
One of the very few veterans in this offense, and Mercedes Lewis missed some games earlier in the season. You expect him, with what he's done in his career, wide open in the middle of the field with a chance to convert and get a first down, and he drops it. Last week, this offense and their receivers dropped multiple passes. You can't do that on a regular basis and expect to win.
And you don't expect it, as you said. This is the first third down opportunity of this drive for the Jaguars. Marquise Lee in motion. Bortles from the shotgun to the middle of the field, incomplete. Intended for Cecil Shorts. And the Jaguars will be forced to punt the ball away. Well, it started out well. First 4 plays, they had 2 first downs, but the drive did not end the way the Jaguars had hoped.
Yeah, drops are drive killers, and this offense not set up to be able to convert on a 3rd and 8 situation. That time they took Pernell McPhee, the Ravens did, their outside linebacker, blitzed him in between the center and the guard, and he was right in Bortles' face as he tried to get that ball off.
Jacoby Jones back deep to receive, and the punt is blocked. It's a loose ball. It's going to be picked up by the Ravens. Kamar Aiken into the end zone. Stewart with the block for the Ravens. It's the 2nd block of the year for Brian Anger. And Stewart, he really went in uncontested on that block.
Well, nice scheme by Jerry Rosberg, the special teams coordinator. They picked inside. They confused the up back, Will Tafo'o, the fullback, and then Darian Stewart comes right up the gut. Perfect technique, and the Ravens get on the board via their special teams.
Justin Tucker on for the point after. It's a high snap, handled well, and the Ravens are on to nothing. 11:51 to play here in the first quarter, and the Ravens strike first on special teams.
Made a name for himself on that punt return team. The way he used to set people up with the up and under, he was amazing. He was one of the best I've ever seen on the punt rush.
Tucker bounces this one onto the turf, and it's picked up by one of the up men, Tyson Alu. Tomorrow on CBS, these geniuses don't fit in the world, but they're the only ones who can save it. A new episode of Scorpion tomorrow at 9, 8 Central, only CBS. Well, this is Mercedes Lewis. This was a huge play offensively before the punts.
You're right, and I thought coming into this game, this is the one guy that they had to get involved early. He's the one veteran on this offense who understands what it means to make plays, and he let his team down with that drop.
Yeah, they would have been inside Ravens territory. Instead, they wound up punting the ball, and it was blocked. And then the score for the Ravens. Terrell Suggs with the tackle on Gerhardt. Toby Gerhardt signed in the offseason. Earlier this year when we had the Jaguars and the Colts, they were talking about him being a focus point of their offense. They've kind of backed off that a little bit, but today 4 carries, 20 yards for the Jaguars. Bortles to throw on 2nd down. He can run. You got to keep an eye on him. And his pass is incomplete, in and out of the hands of Marquise Lee, but he may have been across the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it certainly looked like he did get across the line of scrimmage right there. That's, and again, a rookie mistake, being aware of where you are on the football field. But even if he was, it's still another drop by one of his skill players.
Illegal forward pass on the offense. This 5-yard penalty will include a loss of down, 3rd down.
So it's 3rd down from the 37-yard line.
Well, you can see he's setting up. He doesn't like what he sees downfield. Good coverage, and there at the last moment, he sees Moreeeee open in the middle of the hash marks. But again, you got to have that awareness. You know, these things keep coming up when we talk about Blake Bortles, is having more awareness, more ownership in the offense.
Yeah, he talked about that yesterday when we met with him, how important it was for him to take ownership. Gus Bradley talked about it earlier this week. It'll be third down from the 34. Out of the shotgun is Bortles. Looks left, lofts it left, has Cecil. Shorts along the sidelines. The catch is made, and they're inside Ravens territory.
Oh, this was outstanding. Third down and 12. Press man coverage outside against Asa Jackson. And Cecil Shorts gets the separation, comes down, gets both feet in bounds. That was nicely done by Bortles and Shorts.
That's a 30-yard gain. Asa Jackson just came back last week. He had missed 8 games with a bad toe. So first down inside Ravens territory. And Todman bounces outside and gets a few yards. Well, I know the secondary has been a concern for the Ravens just because of all the injuries. John Harbaugh told us in our meetings on Friday, he said, listen, you can never have enough players in your secondary when the season begins.
Yeah, it's been a big sore spot. And the thing that you notice, especially in the games that they have lost, it's just been that inability when they're in a man-to-man situation to be the one to come up with that big play. They've given up a lot of cushion so far this season. I expected them to come up and challenge these wide receivers. They still couldn't get the job done.
On second down and 8, they're going to rely on Lee's athleticism, but Asa Jackson is able to make the tackle a yard short of where they started.
That's exactly what you have to do as a corner. This is one-on-one outside. You've got to be able to make that block. You make that block, and a guy like Moreeeee has the speed to make something with the ball in his hands after the catch. But right there, Asa Jackson dominated Allen Hurns and made the play.
So it's third down and 10. This is where guys like Suggs and Doomerville make their living. They're up at the line of scrimmage right now. Ravens showing blitz from the near side. Bortles to throw, swatted away, incomplete. I do believe Darryl Smith got a hand on that one, the former Jaguar, and it'll be fourth down.
Well, what a tremendous play by Darryl Smith, because he had Allen Hurns open in the middle of the field without inside help. And if Smith does not bat that ball down, that's going to be a conversion. But Darryl Smith, you talk about a guy, one of the most unheralded players on this football team. Their linebacker as a unit is a tremendous strength on this team. But Darryl Smith, the veteran, has played outstanding football this season.
This will be a 54-yard field goal attempt for Scobie. It's a good snap. It's a good hold. Does it have enough? It is good. It just slips over the crossbar. And the Jaguars are on the board with 9:33 to play here in the first quarter. Well, it's not a touchdown, but at least it's some points for Gus Bradley's team after this drive.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Amazon's new Fire HD, powerful tablet, endless entertainment. And by Honda, where you can get great deals during Happy Honda Days.
Adam mentioned earlier that here in Baltimore they're known for their defense. Well, they're also known for their crabs as well. In fact, the other day we had a chance, me, Adam, Seller Shy, our producer, we went to Nick's here in Baltimore, and you guys tore apart some crabs.
We got after it. It was one of the first times I've ever had a chance to do that.
Jacoby Jones will let that one bounce out of the end zone, so the Ravens will take over on offense for the first time from the 20. Week 15 continues later today on Fox, then tonight with Sunday Night Football on NBC. And tune in tomorrow for Monday Night Football on ESPN. Those are two teams in desperate search of some wins. All right, so we finally get a chance to see Joe Flacco. With 9:33 to play here in the first quarter, he's had a solid year, on pace for a 4,000-yard season.
Especially here in the last 3 weeks. After they came out of the bye, they really simplified the offense. They tried to focus on what he does well, and they've been very balanced and hard to stop on offense.
Justin Forsett in motion out of the backfield, and the first pass of the day is complete to Steve Smith Jr. How important is that, senior, excuse me. How important is that, Adam? Let's take a look at the lineups for the Ravens. Marshall Yanda, they talk glowingly about the year he's had on this offensive line. Jeremy Zuta as well, the acquisition at center. Justin Forsett has been the focal point in the backfield. Torrey Smith, we'll watch him today because he didn't play last week, even though he was active. He's in the slot right now on the near side. And Flacco to throw, middle of the field, incomplete, intended for Owen Daniels. Let's take a look at the Jaguars defense. We have enjoyed our time with Senderick Marks the last several weeks. He is the ever-evolving defensive tackle for the Jaguars. He's having an outstanding year. It's kind of a young linebacking crew led by the veteran Geno Hayes. Telvin Smith is the rookie. And then Demetrius McCray. He's the kind of cornerback that Gus Bradley would like to have because of his size. That play is blown dead.
False start. Offense. The center. 5-yard penalty. Remains. Second down.
So Zuta is called for the penalty. Adam, let's go back to that first pass play to Steve Smith Sr. How many times were we told the last couple of days that it was so important to get him involved early?
Well, because of the energy and the passion that he brings to this game. If you don't get him involved early, sometimes he kind of disappears, and you figure out, you try and ask yourself, where is Steve Smith? So they make a big effort to try and get him the football early.
Yeah, Joe Flacco told us it's all about his emotion. Steve Smith Sr.'s emotion, as that ball is dumped off over the head of Justin Forsett. Flacco told us Smith Sr. doesn't say a whole lot to him during the game if he doesn't throw the ball to him, but he can usually tell by where he's sitting on the sidelines whether he wants the ball or is mad at him for not throwing him the ball.
That was pretty funny. Yeah, I played against Steve Smith back when I played, and well, I tell you, he was always one of the top, most competitive athletes that ever put on a football uniform. I love how he plays from snap to whistle.
Well, this will be a third down for the Ravens. Forsett out of the backfield in motion. And Flacco from under center has plenty of time. Dumps it off to Marlon Brown. And Brown's stiff arm does not get him to the first down marker. So nice job by the Jaguars defense. Demetrius McCray makes the tackle. Well,
what did Coach Harbaugh say? That he wanted to see his football team start well today. Not fast, but we just wanted to be able to execute. And it looked a little bit sloppy there on that series. You had the false start with Jeremy Zuta. You had a misfire to Owen Daniels by Joe Flacco. It just didn't seem like their offense was in sync. Certainly, they want to get a better start than they had last week against the Miami Dolphins.
Well, on fourth down, Sam Cook will punt the ball away. Ace Sanders back deep to receive for the Jaguars. Yeah, this is a good punt. Sanders backpedaling, grabs it at the 10, and Aiken knocks him down right at the 10, and he nearly lost the football. A 53-yard punt. Well, this is great coverage. Aiken has not been involved offensively, but he certainly has been on the special teams in this first quarter. Saturday, tip off the debut of a marquee event featuring 4 of the biggest names in college hoops, sharing 25 national championships. First, the Ohio State Buckeyes battle the Tar Heels of North Carolina, followed by the UCLA Bruins against #1 Kentucky. CBS Sports Classic, the hoopla begins with the road to the Final Four. Third series of the day for Bortles. It'll be first down from the 11. And his pass is complete to Lewis. Well, at this point in the year, everybody is assuming injuries. Next man up, who do you like out of that one, Adam?
Well, they brought Toby Gerhart to kind of be their featured back, and it didn't work out that way. Started the season, he was banged up, and then it was Denard Robinson who kind of took over and gave this offense a little bit of juice. So finally, Toby Gerhart is healthy, and he's going to have a big impact on this offense.
This is Marquise Lee, and Lee gets to the 18-yard line. Storm Johnson, Gus Bradley told us, would have been activated today even with Denard Robinson's injury.
He's got a great skill set. He's tough inside. He's got great natural instincts. Certainly could come out and catch the ball out of the backfield, but the Jaguars are sitting here looking at 3rd and short. And they've done a pretty good job so far in this game on converting on 3rd down.
Well, it's 3rd down and 3. They need to get across the 21. And now a timeout called by Bortles. The play clock was winding down. It was at 1 when he called the timeout.
This is their first.
So 6:47 to play here in the first quarter. Baltimore 7, Jacksonville 3. Gus Bradley getting a chance to chat with Blake Bortles. We'll see what they decide when we return.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Game of War. Play free now. And by Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL.
Jacksonville facing a 3rd down and 3 from the 18. Cecil Shorts in motion. Here comes the blitz. Bortles rolling to the far side. Wobbles one, and his pass is complete to Allen Hurns for a 1st down. 27-yard gain.
Yeah, it's a big connection. Their 2nd big play down the field so far this game, and that was because of Bortles, his mobility to evade the pressure, and then it was Hurns adjusting his route, breaking out to the corner. Bortles throws a very nice pass, and Hurns secures the catch for a 1st down.
Hurns is one of 53 undrafted free agents currently playing in the NFL from last year's class. Here's Gerhardt. He stood up by Darryl Smith. Adam, how good is this linebacking crew for the Ravens? I mean, across the board.
Oh, they're tough. They're one of the best units in the National Football League. You've got Suggs on one side. You've got Doomerville on the other side, who splits time with Courtney Upshaw, who has done an outstanding job. C.J. Mosley, as a rookie, has tremendous football instincts, and we've already talked about the job that Darryl Smith has done this year, and as the veteran who kind of keeps everything in there together.
Darryl Smith, the former Jaguar linebacker. It's 2nd down after a gain of 1. Gerhardt again, and Gerhardt breaks into Ravens coverage. It'll be 3rd and 1. Let's go to JB in New York.
All right, an Indy win, and they're in, but I'll tell you, Andrew Luck not getting started off on the right foot there. He's going to get picked off by Kendrick Lewis. Takes it back 27 yards for the touchdown. That's Andrew Luck's 3rd pick 6 so far this year. Houston up 7-0.
Tom, Adam, and Allie.
All right, guys, thank you. Last week was a tough one for Andrew Luck. He was able to pull it out. You see where they sit. They win the division. Houston, though, they're getting better as the year goes on. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
And these are situations where Toby Gerhardt's got to make something happen.
This time he's a blocker. The pass is complete to Lee, and Lee is tripped out of bounds by Asa Jackson. Well, I think right there, Adam, is the good of Blake Bortles that we've seen this year.
Well, you saw him earlier, he loves to get outside the pocket. He likes movement passes. It allows him to see the field more clearly, but he still makes rookie mistakes. Last week, checking the ball down on a 4th and 20, not giving his offense a chance, but you've seen some good moments from Bortles so far in this game.
Houston won that game 27-13. The Jaguars had the lead at the half. Today, though, he's been able to convert more often than not to Cecil Shorts, as he does right there.
Yeah, and that's big for Shorts to kind of bounce back after the game he had last week, and to catch a tough pass in traffic, to beat Asa Jackson on a 3rd down on a go route, and be able to bring down that ball. He's had a great connection with his undrafted rookie free agent Allen Hurns, and so far, for the most part, he's been on the mark in his passing attack.
Clay Harbor's in motion on 2nd down. The handoff goes to Johnson running left, and he stumbles his way into the open field and then lowers his shoulder out of bounds at the 9-yard line.
Well, an excellent combination block on the edge by the Jaguars tight ends on Pernell McPhee, number 90, sealing that edge. You got Mercedes Lewis kind of chipping on Asa Jackson. And you get a positive running play off of the left side by Storm Johnson. This is a good-looking drive for Bortles in this offense, but as we saw last week, the red zone is a critical spot for them. They've got to be able to get 7 points against this Baltimore Raven defense.
This is the 9th play of the drive with the play clock down to 2. Bortles is going to have to use another timeout, and he does. Well, he's fortunate that he realized the play clock was winding down, because he was about to check that play and go to a different one with 3 on the play clock.
Everything's happening, for the first time for Bortles. There's a lot on his plate. And the last thing that they can afford to do is have a delay of game, get pushed back, be behind the chains a little bit. Very rarely this season have they been inside the 10-yard line. And again, last week, some great drives, but twice in the second quarter, only came away with 3 points on both of those drives, and that affected their ability to stay in that game.
Well, it'll be first and goal from the 9 with 3:26 to play here in the first quarter. Ravens on top 7-3 thanks to a block punt that was picked up for a touchdown. Jaguars have a field goal from Scobie, looking for more on first and goal from the 9. Ravens showing blitz from the near side. And the handoff goes to Johnson, trying left, not much there, and he is taken down. Chris Canty came leaping in for the tackle.
Oh, what a play by Chris Canty. And I remember last week there was a big talk about Haloti Ngata, not being in the lineup. How would this defensive front react? Well, collectively as a group, it was their best game of the season. Timmy Jernigan had a breakout game. Chris Canty was all over the place. And you love how Canty goes down from the backside, down the line of scrimmage, and makes the play.
Joe Flacco is hoping his defense can stop the Jaguars here on second and goal from the 9. Bortles pumps once, pumps twice, wrapped up and taken down. Smothered to the ground by Timmy Jernigan, the rookie from Florida State.
Well, unbelievable job working on the center. Luke Bowanko, and I think they were trying to set up a screen right here to the running back. They were. But boy, Timmy Jernigan, who is so explosive off of the ball, he has that great burst, gets to Bortles before he can get the ball out to Storm Johnson, and now really pushes him back. Third and goal from the 19.
Third and goal from the 19. Todman out of the backfield to the far side as a receiver. Bortles is in trouble. He breaks away from Suggs, but is wrapped up and taken down by Doomerville. Well, you were right in the open when you said we're in Baltimore. It is all about defense, and we're seeing it on these last two plays.
Well, when you're the second pick in the draft, you've got to be able to handle a guy like Suggs off the edge. He turns the corner on Jokel. You got Elvis Doomerville coming from the other side. Courtney Upshaw is there on the action. This duo with Suggs and Doomerville can be devastating against an offensive line.
This is a 45-yard field goal attempt for Scobie. He's already made a 53-yarder today. Good snap, good hold. This one's got some power behind it, and it is good. But this was all about, at the end, the Ravens defense holding Blake Bortles and the Jaguars to a field goal. Ravens up by 1 with 1:18 to play in the first quarter. Well, back here at Baltimore, hey, it's the last week to vote for the 2015 Pro Bowl. Select the best players regardless of conference. Then Chris Carter and Michael Irvin will draft teams as alumni captains. Vote now at NFL.com/Pro Bowl ballot. Voting ends Monday nights. 7-6 Baltimore on top. Jaguars will kick it off to the electric Jacoby Jones. Back deep to receive, 5 yards deep. Here he comes to the outside, and he's out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. Well, we saw just pummeling defense at the end of that drive for the Jaguars.
This pass rush can be ferocious, and especially if Timmy Jernigan plays like he's played the last 2 games up the middle. You have T. Sizzle working on Luke Jokel over on that left side, and Elvis Doomerville with his 18th sack of the season has been unstoppable.
Well, Jernigan is playing more because of the suspension to Haloti Ngata, and the coaching staff talked the other day just about the impact that Ngata has had on Jernigan. Chris Canty the same, how they've taught him how to be and play like a pro. Here's Forsett with his first run of the day, gain of 2. In fact, they talked about Jernigan and C.J. Mosley, how different their personalities are. Jernigan's a little more bubbly than C.J. Mosley, and I guess that's normally the case with rookies.
Yeah, Timmy Jernigan, the All-American from Florida State. A little out there, but C.J. Mosley, one of those guys that's quiet, but it just has that workman-like mentality and has picked up the NFL game very quickly.
Second down and 8. In motion is Owen Daniels. High formation, Forsett again. He trips to the 15. He literally tripped. So it'll be 3rd down and 5.
I think it's going to be key for the Ravens today, getting that running game going. You know, last week, Forsett was banged up. He had the knee injury. He only had 13 carries in that game, and really that running game didn't get going until the 4th quarter when they were able to start breaking off some runs. But I think this offense functions best when it centers around the running game, getting Forsett going, and that allows all those movements, the play action pass for Flacco.
Well, this is the end of the 1st quarter, which is a good thing because Roy Miller needs to get his jersey fixed on the Jaguars sideline. The Ravens with the ball on top 7-6. The key to the 1st quarter, this block right here. It led to the score for the Ravens. We'll return to Baltimore after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS. 3rd down and 5. Flacco to throw for a 1st down. Owen Daniels, what a grab. And he gets up to the 23-yard line. So they'll move the chains for the Ravens as we begin the 2nd quarter with the Ravens on top 7-6 over the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Boy, how about Owen Daniels coming across in motion, 3rd and 5, working against the cornerback, the rookie Aaron Colvin, and catching that ball in traffic.
That's 101 consecutive games with a catch for Owen Daniels. Bernard Pierce in for the 1st time for the Ravens. Juszczyk in motion, the fullback. On 1st down, here's Pierce. And Pierce carries the load up across the 25 to the 26. Let's check in with Allie LaForce. Allie?
Thank you. We have an injury update on Anthony Levine. He has a right ankle injury. Not sure specifically what the injury is, but they did take him to the locker room to evaluate it further. While he was walking down the steps to the locker room, he was able to put a little bit of pressure on that right ankle. I'll know more later on in the game.
All right, Allie, thank you. Levine has been battling that concussion from last week. In fact, they cleared him on Thursday to play after the concussion test proved that he was okay. Off the play fake, Flacco to throw, lost it to Juszczyk, and he bumps away from Clemens and then is able to battle his way across the 30. The ball is loose, and the Jaguars have picked it up. The play has not been blown dead, and now Josh Evans is down at the 35. And if this stands, it will be Jacksonville ball.
Boy, Chris Clemens had a chance to light up Juszczyk right there in the flat. McCray comes in to make the tackle. With his foot down, Telvin Smith or JT Thomas comes over. Is that?
Boy, I don't know if his behind was down on the carpet or not, as that ball was knocked loose. Well, every turnover is reviewed. Boy, Adam, it's close. It looks like his backside may have been down on the turf before the ball was knocked loose. We'll find out what Tony Correnti thinks when we return. Well, here's the veteran official Tony Correnti, who was able to confer with the guys in the replay booth and the folks in New York. And he's going to have our decision on whether this was indeed a fumble by Juszczyk.
During the play, the ruling on the field will stand as a fumble recovery by Jacksonville, 1st down.
So I think the key is that the play will stand. It was tough to tell whether Juszczyk's behind was on the turf as the ball was knocked loose or not.
Yeah, to me it looked like there was indisputable evidence. And that's a great picture right there. That ball is coming out before his backside hit the ground.
So the Jaguars have it 1st down from the 34-yard line. Make it the 33. Off the play fake, Bortles to throw. He has time, and here's Gerhardt out of the backfield. And Gerhardt is stopped at the 29. All right, our officiating expert Mike Carey's been with us all season long. Mike, what did you see here on this?
Well, Tony's actions and what Tony said was really reflected what you guys were saying. It might be, looks like, it feels like. As soon as you say that, you are saying it's not indisputable. So that ruling on the field stands just like it should have.
So it
felt like it might have been a fumble.
So it was called a fumble, so that's why it stands. If it was called the other way, it may have been Baltimore ball.
Correct.
Handoff on 2nd down, and no gain on the play. Well, we're watching it again, Mike, and yeah, I think you're right on it. I mean, Juszczyk looked like he was just trying to lean the ball forward, and it was knocked loose.
Yes, and so the ruling on the field is fumble, and there's nothing that shows definitively that it was not.
Yep.
So we leave that call on the field.
All right, I was in the replay booth before the ball game with Howard Slavin, and he was showing me that they look at it frame by frame by frame, and I'm sure they were trying to do that on that particular play. It was just tough to tell. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate that. And Bortles is under pressure, and he's taken down. Terrell Suggs by the ankles with a little help from C.J. Mosley.
The first read was taken away, and Blake Bortles did not have a backup plan. Terrell Suggs puts the initial pressure off of the left side. Joko tries to cut him. And again, that heat coming from both edges has got to be tough to deal with for any offense.
Well, this will be the second 53-yard field goal attempt of the day for Scobie. The first one was the other way, and he got it just over the crossbar. Another good snap, another good hold. This one's got a little more boost to it than the last one, and it is good. And the Jaguars will take the lead off the fumble. Yes, T. Sizzle did have a sack and a dance, but the points for the Jags.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Lincoln Wishlist event. Visit your Lincoln showroom today. Pepsi. Hype your hometown with Pepsi at Pepsi.com/halftime. And by The Hobbit, the Battle of the Five Armies, in theaters everywhere Wednesday.
We were fortunate the other day. We got a chance to have breakfast over at the Ravens facilities, and we're sitting there enjoying our breakfast when all of a sudden the sun was blocked out because Terrell Suggs came over to surprise his former college teammate Adam Archuleta.
I miss that guy. That guy is so much fun to have around. Of course, played with him at Arizona State.
How about this? An onside kick, and it looks like the Jaguars may have recovered. Jonathan Cyprien, part of the hands team for Gus Bradley, recovers inside Ravens territory. Well, you like Terrell Suggs. You're going to see him a little bit more right now.
Well, gutsy call by Gus Bradley, trying to do anything to give his football team a spark. The ball goes 10 yards. Excellent job by Jonathan Cyprien. That was a late reaction. Right there by Miles, who was playing that left tackle position on the kickoff return team. And now it's time for the Jaguars to try and capitalize.
Here's Tony Correnti. The play has been stopped for a moment. Let's see what's going to happen. Nope, I think they just had to get themselves settled down. Well, Gus Bradley, we talked to a lot of coaches around the National Football League. They say that Gus Bradley and his staff have more tricks than any other team in the National Football League. They spot the ball on the 48 of Baltimore. High formation. And the pitch comes to the near side. And Todman is able to get to the 40, a gain of 8. Before Asa Jackson makes the tackle.
Pernell McPhee was the outside linebacker right there and was responsible for contain. He played it perfectly, but there was too much speed right there. He wasn't able to get down the line of scrimmage, and that sets up the offense in second short. Take a shot down, opportunity for Bortles.
Second down, one receiver right, one left. Flags come in, and somebody moves.
False start, offense number 74. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Well, that's Sam Young, who just checked in, and you know, it's interesting. They keep moving, and then boom, something happens to change the pace of their offense.
This is one of their better offensive performance here in the first half that they've had this season, and you can see they're close. But it's been the one or two mistakes on every drive that has led them to not be able to capitalize with a touchdown.
Second down, in motion is Hearns. The ball back to the 45. Quick drop for Bortles, and he overthrows Hearns. It'll be third down, 3rd and 7. Let's go to New York with JB.
New England turnover capitalized on.
Yeah, right here you're going to see Ryan Tannehill. He drops back, hits the wrong player, hits the run. Harmon, he picks it off, takes it 60 yards back, which would later be sets up the touchdown run by Shane Vereen. And New England is up 14-3, looking to win the division with the win today.
Wasn't it just a couple months ago people thought New England was dead? Unbelievable. Back to Tom McCarthy.
Yeah, JB, they got a lot of life, in particular in that backfield today. It's Vereen. Here's Bortles on 3rd down and 7, and he dumps it off to Todman, who's got the first down and a burst inside the 30, and he's dragged down at the 31. Darryl Smith, or excuse me, the 26. Darryl Smith with the tackle.
Well, I can't believe we haven't seen Todman that much this season. This is a check down. Bortles is trying to go to his right, doesn't like what he sees. Todman is open, one-on-one with the rookie C.J. Mosley. Easily is able to make him miss. Picks up the first down.
Gain of 19 off the play fake. Bortles rolls the pocket. He loves rolling the pocket. Throws toward the corner of the end zone, and he overthrows Hearns. It'll be 2nd down. We saw a similar play for a touchdown last week. They were closer to the end zone, where he hit Hearns. That time he just overthrew him.
And he feels comfortable in the movement passing game. Anytime they run boot, anytime they're able to sprint out, because it shrinks the field, it gives them easy and clean reads, and he does a pretty effective job of throwing on the run.
Joe Flacco's only been on the field for a little more than 4 minutes. Just under 16 minutes for Bortles on the pitch to Johnson. He's got a blocker, and he gets to the 25, a gain of maybe 1, possibly 2. Ladarius Webb with the tackle. Well, we talked about the rush defense for Baltimore, 4th in the NFL. Well, today they've given up 61 yards. The Jaguars have had the ball an awful lot.
It hasn't been flashy. I think that's part of it. They have been able to have success. Toby Gerhart has been able to get some tough yards. You've seen some good stuff by Storm Johnson, but again, their offense, their success is going to be defined by their ability to convert on 3rd down, especially when they get in the high red area.
Well, this is already the 9th opportunity on 3rd down for the Jaguars. Bortles lofts it toward the end zone for Lee, and he overthrew him, and he had a step on his man.
Well, he had it, and this is exactly what Bortles was wanting to look for. You're going to see Marquise Lee at the bottom of the screen right here. Press coverage, man-to-man with Asa Jackson. He just runs right by him. That ball was thrown just a touch shorter. You're going to have a touchdown right there. Excellent job by Lee getting the separation, but that's one of those throws that Bortles, as he progresses, is going to have to be able to make.
What did he tell us yesterday when we pushed him a little bit? He said, Lee, anything one-on-one is when he's going to go to him, and he had one-on-one. Here's Scobie with his 4th field goal attempt of the day, and this one is wide right. It remains 9-7. John Harbaugh's team okay after the onside kick by Gus Bradley. Rookie quarterback Blake Bortles of the Jaguars take on the Titans in an AFC South clash on Thursday Night Football live on NFL Network. And this season wraps with a special Saturday edition. Eagles and Redskins on NFL Network at 4, and San Diego and San Francisco on CBS and the NFL Network, with coverage starting at 7:30. Football starts here. All right, this is only the 3rd possession, believe it or not, for the Ravens. A punt and a fumble on the first 2. Forsett still trying to get himself going. They have gotten a couple of yards. Tomorrow on CBS, a special holiday episode of NCIS Los Angeles. So full of surprises, everyone will be talking about it. It's a jolly new NCIS Los Angeles tomorrow at 10, 9 Central, only CBS. Adam, what are you thinking for the Ravens here offensively?
I think they started out the game targeting Steve Smith on that first reception. I know they want to establish the running game. They want to establish Forsett. Right now, the Jaguars' defensive line is winning the battle on the line of scrimmage. I think you have to find a way to get Steve Smith Sr. involved right now to keep this drive going.
Well, the Ravens are going to use a timeout. They were in the huddle for an awfully long time. So they have 2 timeouts left. 8:23 to play. We'll see what happens when we return.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by TD Ameritrade. And by Cialis.
Busy couple of weeks for old St. Nick, getting a chance to relax and catch a football game down here in Baltimore. It's 2nd down and 8 for the Ravens. Steve Smith Sr. spins away from one defender, and Telvin Smith wraps him up. Well, Baltimore has not crossed the 50-yard line just yet. Meanwhile, Jacksonville they've had the ball so much they seem to have been in Baltimore territory most of the first half.
That's something that they're not used to. And I think, you know, for Jacksonville and for Flacco, this is, boy, what a key third down this is for them. And they've been very good here in these 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3s. Look for a quick screen right here and try and gas the Jaguars defense.
Out of the shotgun, and the pass is caught by Marlon Brown. One-on-one with a linebacker. He wins the battle, and finally the Ravens are inside Jacksonville territory.
Well, Marlon Brown, and both Marlon Brown and Kamar Aiken, they have been very reliable. Steve Smith Sr., he's the flashy one. There's Torrey Smith, he's the flashy one. But boy, Marlon Brown has had some key moments so far in this season, working against the rookie linebacker Telvin Smith, and a perfect pass by Flacco.
So first down from the 48. Juszczyk in motion out of the backfield. Boy, the 3rd first down of the half for Flacco. He's in trouble, throws on the run. Oh, and Daniels got open in front of J.T. Thomas for the first down.
One of the more underrated aspects to Flacco's game is his ability to have movement in the pocket, his ability to feel the rush, to use his legs to escape the pocket, keep his eyes downfield, and deliver that accurate ball to his tight end.
22-yard gain, and you see the time of possession heavily to the Jaguars. 33 plays to the Ravens 13, but the Ravens are moving it down by just 2. Daniels in motion again. Here's Forsett, and then Forsett's hitting the backfield and then spun down. Roy Miller cleaned it up. 2nd down at 10.
What a play by J.T. Thomas. Remember, he came over and forced the fumble earlier on Juszczyk to that pass to the flat, but he just shoots his gun, reads his keys, makes contact in the backfield. That's an excellent job by the inside linebacker, J.T. Thomas.
Those linebackers, they've been burdened a little bit more with Paul Posluszny being out with that injury earlier this year. He was their leader in the linebacking crew. Torrey Smith in motion. He hasn't been thrown to yet today. This one to the middle of the field. Pass is complete to Crockett Gilmore. We weren't even sure if he was going to play today, according to John Harbaugh.
Well, the tight ends have made their presence felt. Crockett Gilmore right here, the inside tight end in a 2 tight end set, crossing in the middle of the football field behind the linebackers for the Jaguars. And again, Joe Flacco finding connection. It was earlier Owen Daniels, and now it was Crockett Gilmore, the rookie out of Colorado State.
Gain of 17. It'll be 1st and goal, just a hair inside the 10. Here's Forsett, cuts back to the middle, and he's inside the 5. I think that's the one thing that's really stood out about Forsett, the average per rush for him this year.
It leads the league, 5.6 yards per carry. And when you look at this offensive line, they do such a good job on the front side, getting the defense to move laterally. And if you don't close down on the backside, Chris Clemens, then Forsett is going to be able to cut back, find the open lane, and get upfield.
See those names that he's there with leading the way. He's out. Pierce is in. This drive, which has taken a little more than 4 minutes and 20 seconds. High formation. Brown in motion. Pierce to his right. And Pierce has stood up. Gratz came in to help out from his cornerback position. 3rd and goal.
This offensive line for the Ravens, they're among one of the best in football. And I thought, you know, when we talked to Bob Babbage, when we talked to Gus Bradley, they said the Dallas Cowboys offensive line is legit. But this one right here, they can mash you. Marshall Yanda having one of the best seasons of any guard in pro football. Jeremy Zuttah coming over here from Tampa Bay has solidified that center spot. Puts a lot of pressure on a defensive line.
3rd and goal, 5 receivers for Flacco. Throws to the middle, incomplete. Daniels went one way and the ball went the other. So the Ravens will settle for a field goal attempt.
Well, that was so close for J.T. Thomas. Right there, almost is able to make a huge play. He can't even believe it.
That's the reaction that Bob Babbage, the defensive coordinator, has had. We were talking to him yesterday about just the 5 interceptions that the Jaguars And what did he do? He threw his head back and said, I know, it's low.
If you just catch the ones that are thrown to you, you're going to lead the league in interceptions.
Well, this will be a 22-yard field goal attempt by Justin Tucker. And he's been outstanding for the Ravens, and he gives Baltimore the lead. So back and forth we go. Not a whole lot of scoring, but the Ravens are on top 5-1. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, join JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights, as well as a preview of a special Thursday Night Football doubleheader this Saturday on CBS and the NFL Network. That's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Along with that, I'm Art Chiletta and Allie LaForce. I'm Tom McCarthy. From Baltimore, where the Ravens have taken the lead. 10 plays, 65 yards. Tucker's 22-yard field goal. So he'll kick off. Todman is back deep to receive. And Todman will get a chance to return this one just a couple yards deep in the end zone. He's trying to find a blocker down at the 15-yard line. Let's check in with Allie LaForce. Allie.
Thank you. Earlier this week, we got a chance to talk to defensive coordinator for the Ravens, Dean Pease, and we said, when you have such a young, talented player like C.J. Mosley, what's the biggest adjustment that he has to make? He said, I have the perfect story for you. Last week against Miami, Mosley was sitting on the bench, and he goes, what week is it again? Anyways, he couldn't remember. So the biggest adjustment has been pacing, because you look at the college schedule right now, all that's left is the college football playoffs and, of course, bowl games. But in the NFL, there's still 2 regular season games after this, and then the playoffs. So pacing was a bit of a problem.
I could only imagine how long it takes to get used to being a National Football League player, even with the schedule that they had at Alabama. That pass off the fingertips of Marquise Lee.
I like to say, I feel you, CJ. I know exactly how you feel.
C.J. Mosley, a first-round pick out of Alabama, 17th pick overall. Leads all rookies in tackles with 110. In fact, at one point this year, Ladarius Webb, how about this comment? He had a 14 tackle game against Indianapolis, and Ladarius Webb said, that game reminded me of Ray. That's right, Ray Lewis.
Lofty. Let's slow down a little bit.
I'm just saying. Here's Bortles wrapped up by Suggs, taken down at the 10. Okay. 4 sacks this afternoon for the Ravens defense already.
Boy, this isn't really fair. This is T. Suggs coming off the edge against the rookie out of Central Florida, Storm Johnson. I don't know how you can possibly expect Storm Johnson, who just got activated to the active roster this week, to block number 55 one-on-one in pass protection.
Well, he has 10.5 sacks now on the year. 4 sacks already in this first half for the Ravens. And Gus Bradley was worried about that coming in. Heard him talk to Allie about it. It's 3rd down and 15 from the 11. Bortles from the shotgun. Pumps once, pumps twice, dumps it off. And flags come in. They got back to the original line of scrimmage. Darrell Smith with the tackle. I think there might have been an illegal man downfield.
There were ineligible players of the offense on downfield. Number 68 and number 70. This penalty has been declined. The result will be 4th down.
Beatles and Bowenko wanted to get into the pass game a little bit too soon.
It looked like they were running some sort of a screen. I mean, here they are right here. This play took a long time to develop. They're going downfield as if this is supposed to be some type of quarterback draw, some type of a screen. But Bortles has to get rid of that ball faster to avoid that penalty.
Anger's last punt was blocked. Jacoby Jones back deep to receive for the Ravens. He gets this one off. This is a good punt. Jones backpedaling inside the 20, but he'll begin. He'll begin officially from the 16 and out of bounds close to the 40-yard line. Well, it's a 1-point lead for the Ravens. You talk about sizzle and doom. They have been a force here in this first half.
What do you think Terrell Suggs thought about Elvis Dumerville's game last week about the Denver Broncos and his 3.5 sacks. He has come out here with a vengeance today, trying to take advantage of the issues the Jaguars are having on their offensive line.
You asked Elvis that the other day when we met with him about the competition between the two, and he basically said, hey, listen, we want to be the best duo, the best linebacking sack duo in the National Football League, and they are right now. And here's Crockett Gilmore with his second reception of the day. Cyprien in on the tackle. It's a 21-yard gain.
The two deep coverage. And Crockett Gilmore again is able to get behind the linebacker J.T. Thomas. Right now, Flacco has decided that the tight ends are going to be the primary targets. Owen Daniels, Crockett Gilmore in the middle of the field between the hash marks. And right now, the Jaguars defense have no answer for these tight ends.
I have to say, on Friday, we watched practice, and there were a lot of passes going to Daniels and Crockett Gilmore. We thought that they would be a factor here today. Flacco to throw on first down, and that ball is swatted by Chris Clemens.
A good job by Chris Clemens coming off of the left side, working against Ricky Wagner. Chris Clemens, 3 sacks against Indianapolis a few weeks ago. Gets his hands up. Nice reaction on the edge.
Tucker's getting ready. How big of a drive is this for Jacksonville defensively, Adam? Because they're down by 1 right now toward the end of the first half.
And Baltimore gets the ball after halftime. So if you're Jacksonville, you have to minimize anything the Ravens can do by scoring points.
2:05 to play here in the first half, and Pierce is stopped in the backfield. Tyson Alu in on the tackle, and we have reached the 2-minute warning here in Baltimore. Justin Tucker's career long is 61 yards. He knows this facility here at M&T Bank Stadium. And as he prepares to possibly connect on a field goal, he wanted to make sure that he knew which way the wind was going. So what does he use? There's no grass here. Sunflower seeds.
That's precise.
That is precise. Here's Flacco, Steve Smith Sr., and he's knocked out of bounds shy of the first down. There is a flag, though, on the far side of the field. Here's Tony Correnti.
Holding, defense number 35. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Boy, that's a backbreaker right there, because it turns into an automatic first down with 1:50 to play here in the first half. And the Ravens have 2 timeouts left.
Oh, boy, that's huge. And you were in a position where you were going to be able to force a field goal. But now, because the defensive holding, Flacco and this offense have another chance to score a touchdown before the half.
Yeah, they have plenty of time, as you see on the clock. Forsett, lone back in the backfield, will take the handoff. Senderick Marks slowed him for a moment. Flags come in as the tackle is made. Demetrius McCray and Telvin Smith in on the tackle. Flag is sitting at the 34.
Holding, offense number 82. 10-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
That brings us to a point about Torrey Smith. John Harbaugh wasn't sure if he would be available today. He's called for that penalty. He's been kind of a decoy offensively today. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, hey, you're taught if you keep your hands tight and you grab the chest plate, then you can get away with it. But
what about if you
not
do
when the line judge is sitting right there about 6 feet away from you.
in the open field like that? Saw Torrey Smith come out before the ball game today. He was just trying to test his knee and make sure he was okay. Didn't have any pads on when he was running around on the turf. First down at 20 from the 48. Forsett in motion out of the backfield. Flacco's throw is incomplete. Torrey Smith had it, and as he slid to the ground, he dropped it.
Well, again, it's 2 deep coverage. And when Flacco sees the coverage that he likes, he's going to try and hit the seams inside. That time, Torrey Smith right in his hands, an opportunity to get back some of that lost yardage. 2 negative plays in a row so far for Torrey Smith.
Toussaint is in for the first time for the Ravens, as Flacco will throw to the far side, incomplete. Aiken was the intended receiver. And it'll be 3rd down.
This is the offense outside of the tight ends. Flacco has not had a great chemistry with his wide receivers. Aiken working on McCray, and that ball was nowhere near Aiken, and Flacco had a clean pocket. 3rd and 20 right now. You're just trying to get around that 35-yard line at the minimum to try and give Tucker a chance to get 3 points on the board.
Yeah, Tucker 25 of 28 this year. Forsett in motion to the far side.
They're attacked the middle again.
Flacco looking middle, throws middle, passes complete to Marlon Brown, and Brown is stopped at the 36. So this is exactly what you said they wanted to do. Worst case scenario is at least move the ball forward and get it to Tucker's range. Although it looks like they're trying to make a decision here.
Wow.
With 113, 112, 111 to play.
Well, remember, John Harbaugh went for it 4th and 1 last week on his own, 30, 31-yard line. So not afraid to be aggressive, but 4th and 9. It's a long way to go when you got a weapon like Tucker sitting there giving you almost an automatic 3 points.
Well, they're casually going up to the line of scrimmage. You see they're 9 of 15 this year on 4th down. Fans are finally realizing it, coming to their feet, and now a timeout called by John Harbaugh, so he has 1 left. A reminder, coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, join JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights, as well as a preview of the special Thursday Night Football doubleheader this Saturday on CBS and the NFL Network. That's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. All right, so was he just thinking and now sends the field goal team out? Was he just thinking about this? Is that why he wanted it down?
I don't know what he was thinking, but you know, 4th and 9, boy, that is hard. You're sitting here, you have a 1-point lead. You've got a weapon like Tucker. I think you got to take the 3 points before halftime. I think it's a great choice. Smart use of a timeout.
Well, this will be a 54-yard field goal for Tucker. For his career, he's 14 of 18 from beyond 50 yards. High snap handled well. Tucker's kick end over end. It's not going to get there. Off to the left and short. And with 40 seconds to play, the Jaguars will get the ball back with 1 timeout left.
That was uncharacteristic.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm kind of surprised it was that short.
They're just not in sync today offensively. The Jaguars defensive backs are challenging these outside wide receivers. The only thing that's open are the tight ends inside. They've stuffed the running game, and they give their rookie quarterback a chance to do something with 40 seconds left.
All right, Bortles is not standing pat. He finds Cecil Shorts near midfield. And Shorts trying to get out of bounds, did not do so. Asa Jackson makes the tackle. So 30, 29, 28. They've got to get to the line of scrimmage because they have just 1 timeout left. Bortles again drops back to pass, throws to the middle, pass is complete, and more did Allen Hurns take a hit. Will Hill with the hit, but the ball is inside the 30 to the 27, a 23-yard gain and a timeout call.
Well, this is one of Blake Bortles' best passes inside that he has thrown all year. Hurns working the seam, clears the nickelback Matt Elam, and Bortles drills it in there. And for Hurns to keep control of that ball while taking a shot at the reception point, well, that's a pretty connection.
All right, you used to lay those kind of hits. Would you have said anything to the receiver after he came up with that kind of reception?
I probably would have went helmet to helmet when I played. So. What a throw by Bortles here with a chance in a 2-minute situation. 14 seconds, 1 timeout. Let's see if he can do something with this.
Ball sits at the 27. Gary Kubiak going over with his offense while the Jaguars offense moves the ball. Jordan Todman in the backfield. On first down, Bortles looking to throw again. Lofts it toward the end zone for Lee, and it's incomplete. Lee was kind of double covered. All right, so 9 seconds to play with no timeouts left. They're going to bring Scobie on, aren't they?
Yeah, I think you have to. Your only chance is to try and maybe take a shot at the end zone. Even then, you might be playing with fire depending on how long that play takes. So right now, the smart play, kick another field goal. You have a chance to go up 2 points before halftime. You played a pretty good first half of football against one of the hotter offenses in the NFL.
Well, this will be a 45-yard field goal attempt. He's 3 of 4 this afternoon. Kick is on its way, end over end, and it is good. So the Jaguars take the lead 12-10 with 4 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Good snap by Carson Tinker, the hold by Anger. And Scobie has been the offense today for Gus Bradley's squad. 4 for 5 on field goal attempts. John Harbaugh, his reaction. He knows his offense has got to get some things rolling in the second half.
Outside of their pass rush with Suggs, with Doomerville, with Jernigan, the Ravens defense really hasn't had an answer for the Jaguars. It's really been kind of some missed opportunities by their receivers that didn't allow some of those drives to continue. So I think John Harbaugh is going to have to go in there and get some type of a halftime speech to light a fire under this offense and get those defensive backs to challenge these wide receivers for the Jaguars.
I would think that Scobie's going to kick this away from Jacoby Jones as best he can. Well, the best way to do it is to kick it over his head and out of the end zone. Jacoby Jones is a weapon all by himself, and the Ravens, with 4 seconds to play, will have it at their 20. So Joe Flacco brings the offense onto the field. I would assume he's just going to take a knee, and they'll regroup in the locker room. Flacco 10 of 16 so far. His tight ends have caught 4 of his 10 passes in this first half, and he will just take a knee. So the fans not too happy here at M&T Bank Stadium. Their team goes into the locker room down 12-10 at the hands of Blake Bortles and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Defensively, the Ravens were exactly what we expected. 4 sacks. Offensively, though, they haven't been able to muster a whole lot this afternoon. Let's check in with Allie LaForce. Allie?
Coach, you're right in the thick of this. Is your team executing the way that you wanted them to?
Yeah, I'm really pleased. I mean, we had a mess up there with the block punt, but we challenged our guys about answering the call when their number's called, and we're seeing guys do that.
Your offense has gotten itself in great field position, but you've settled for field goals. How do you turn those into touchdowns?
Well, that's what we have to do. We get an opportunity to get in the red zone. We got to make plays, and we're getting some points, and that's a good thing. So it's going to be a challenging second half for both teams.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Allie, thank you very much. We appreciate that. The end of the half, it's the Jaguars 12, the Ravens 10. We'll be back with the Verizon halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. It's time to take a look at our Bose game changer. This is the only touchdown for the Ravens. It occurs in the first quarter. Stewart gets in to block the punt of Anger. Man, he just engulfed that football, and Aiken was able to scoop it up and bring it in for 11 yards, and that's the only score for the Ravens. Along with Adam Archuleta, I'm Tom McCarthy. It's not what we expected at all offensively for the Ravens. It is defensively, though.
This is not what one of the hottest offenses in football is supposed to look like when you're trying to make a playoff push. And I think for the Ravens, they're getting dominated up front. The front four of Jacksonville is whipping that Ravens offensive line, so they're going to have to get Justin Forsett going again. That'll open up everything for that Ravens offense.
Yeah, we talked about that front four in the open as Scobie will kick this one off. Jacoby Jones back deep to receive, and it goes over his head and out of bounds. Well, the last drive for Jacksonville led to the field goal that gave them the lead. Blake Bortles did some good things.
It was a 2-minute situation, and we've seen improvement by Bortles zipping in a ball to his favorite wide receiver, Allen Hurns, setting up their offense for a go-ahead field goal. And really, when you look at that first half, it was drops, miscommunications, his wide receivers letting him down. But I think you have to be pleased with the progress he's made in the downfield passing game so far today.
Well, here's Flacco, first play of the second half. Forsett running the football, and he gets 6 yards. Let's take a look at our halftime stats. And running-wise, not a whole lot going on for the Baltimore Ravens.
Not at all. Justin Forsett, one of the top running backs in the National Football League. He only has 6 attempts with an anemic running game, and I think it's pretty evident that this offense goes the way their running back goes. If they're able to get that thing cranking, then you're going to see Joe Flacco bootleg passes, play action. That'll open up things for his receivers on the edge.
Just to put it in perspective, the Ravens average 135.7 yards on the ground as a flag comes in, which is 5th best in the National Football League. Red Bryant makes the tackle. We'll see who the penalty's against.
Holding, offense, number 72, 10-yard penalty, repeat, second down.
Well, Semele, the third-year pro out of Iowa State, called for the holding penalty. Well, Justin Forsett, we said, came into this ball game averaging 5.6 yards per carry, which was tops in the NFL. And much to his chagrin, he's not able to do as much today. He's averaging 83.1 yards overall per game, but just 18 yards so far today.
They really haven't been able to get their offense in sync. You've seen penalties. You've seen some things happening in the passing game. And again, that front four from Jacksonville having a stellar day so far against that offensive line.
Forsett out of the backfield. They dump it off. Incomplete. Crockett Gilmore started to run before he caught the ball. It'll be third down.
Again, not on the same page. Working against Jacksonville's 2-deep coverage. Crockett Gilmore hooks up right in front of the linebacker, J.T. Thomas. And maybe expecting that he's going to get hit. But another drop ball. You know, Flacco and his receivers, as good as they've been able to play here in the last 3 games of the season, have not been able to connect with any kind of efficiency here today.
Well, they're hoping that the second half last week against the Dolphins carries over to the second half this week against the Jaguars. On 3rd and 14, Flacco's pass complete to Steve Smith Sr. And he's well shy of the first down. Aaron Colvin in on the tackle.
Well, again, the tempo of that drive dictated by Jacksonville's defensive front on the first play of the game. Red Bryant working on the left guard. Osemele draws the holding foul, puts the Ravens in negative territory. You get a drop pass, and here you go. You're sitting here. You have to punt on 4th and 8.
Ace Sanders back deep to receive for Jacksonville. Second punt of the afternoon for Sam Cook. Gets the punt off. It's not a high one. Sanders says don't go near it. He grabs it at the 37-yard line, and that is where Jacksonville will begin. Pretty good field position from Blake Bortles. Find the perfect gift for the sports fan on your gift list. Beat the crowds and get free shipping when you shop CBS Sports today. Take advantage of this offer now at cbssports.com/holiday. Well, with Adam Archuleta and Ali LaForce, I'm Tom McCarthy. That's Storm Johnson running for the first time in this half. Brandon Williams makes the tackle. All right, Jacksonville only has 2 wins, but is today an indication of what they've done in their other 2 victories, Adam?
Well, here's the key for them, and they've put great halves together before this season. Philadelphia, Indianapolis, last week against Houston. The key for them is when they come out and they stuff an offense in the first half, can they keep the intensity throughout the 3rd and 4th quarter?
Well, they have 65 yards on the ground today. They've stopped the Ravens for just 20 yards on the ground. Here's Bortles to throw. Hearns. And Hearns up to the 42. Asa Jackson not happy with himself because that ball was out there a little bit. Well, this is what you were talking about, Adam. Outscored 79-32 in the 3rd quarter.
It's not good. And, you know, we've seen they've had struggles scoring touchdowns here today, you know, as evidenced by their 4 field goals. Now, again, they have to be able to keep momentum going. This 3rd down is vital for their success.
Bortles rolls the pocket, throws on the run. Lee can't hang on. Incomplete. Asa Jackson in on the coverage. Darryl Smith was there, and the Jaguars have to punt the ball away.
I thought he was a little late throwing this ball. There was just a moment where Lee was open because Jackson had a hard time getting over the traffic in man-to-man coverage. Bortles late for the ball. Lee is not able to secure it. The Jacksonville defense, the Baltimore defense doing their part, giving the ball back to Flacco.
Ladarius Webb back deep to receive for the Ravens. This is a booming punt, goes over his head, bounces inside the 5 into the end zone. Second possession of the half for the Ravens is coming up when we return.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. The all-new Volkswagen Golf family, 2015 Motor Trend Car of the Year. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Back here in Baltimore, there's Steve Smith Sr., who in his last reception, it was the 900th of his career. He joins Larry Fitzgerald, who just went into that category earlier this week on Thursday Night Football on NFL Network. He's the 18th player to reach 900 receptions in NFL history. Here's Flacco through the middle, incomplete. A flag comes in. Boy, the defense for Jacksonville's been really good today.
Yeah, dominated by their front four. Here you see J.T. Thomas shooting the gap, getting penetration. Red Bryant, Chris Clemens, Jonathan Cyprien in on the action. J.T. Thomas again in coverage, and they're on that last play. Flacco trying to get the ball to his tight end.
Roughness defense, contact in the head and neck area of the defense's receiver. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Adam, this was a late flag. It's a 15-yard penalty. You were in Jacksonville last week. There was a similar penalty with Andre Johnson. This is Daniels, the receiver. Well, there was helmet to helmet.
I don't see it. J.T. Thomas, yeah, his helmet makes contact. It's not the crown of his helmet, but he comes in there. He's playing the football. He is swatting at the ball, trying to make a play, and his face mask incidentally hits the face mask of Owen Daniels. I think that's a terrible call.
Well, it'll be a first down for the Ravens and a quick toss to Steve Smith Sr. at the 41. Well, this is last week. Telvin Smith was fined for this hit on Andre Johnson. I didn't think this was what they called.
I didn't think it should have been called either. Again, you're looking for the crown of the helmet. In my eyes, if your face mask is the first thing that makes contact when somebody is coming over the middle, to me, that should not be a personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Sometimes I think they go a little bit too far. They've got to let these guys play.
Telvin Smith was fined $22,000 for that hit last week. Here's Forsett, nothing doing. Boy, it's been a tough road for Justin Forsett. He gets one. And credit this Jaguars defensive line. Red Bryant, Josh Evans came from the secondary position.
Well, the linebackers have had a nice game. J.T. Thomas and Telvin Smith inside have been solid in getting to the line of scrimmage and getting to Forsett before he's able to break that line.
What did they tell us in our meetings yesterday? And Derek Mark said, hey, one of the priorities we had in our room this week is tackle. Tackle, tackle, tackle.
So far, they haven't been able to get. Forsett has not been able to get into that secondary to make those one-on-one moves.
On third down, Flacco pumps right, throws left. Pass is complete to Smith, his first catch in 2 weeks. And he has a first down out of bounds at the 46.
Oh, you talk about command of the offense. Flacco starts all the way to his right. It's covered by the Jacksonville defense. And then Torrey Smith is his outlet receiver. He scans all the way back to the left and fires a bullet right there on the sideline to pick up their first down of the second half.
Interesting, they have not run Adam for a first down yet. All their first downs have been pass completions. Off the play fake, Flacco to throw, and his pass is complete to Marlon Brown, who breaks a couple of tackles. We were just talking about tackling, and he gets down inside the 35. Gratz in on the final tackle for Jacksonville.
Well, look what the play action pass does. Watch both linebackers flowing hard to the hole. That opens up that void right in behind, and then Jonathan Cyprien has a chance to make the tackle at the point of attack, but Marlon Brown keeps his concentration, gets upfield for a nice play-action pass by the Ravens offense.
22-yard gain, it's first down. See the triangle of receivers to the top off the play fake again for Flacco. He has plenty of time. Lofts it toward the end zone for Daniels, and he has it inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal from just inside the 5 to Owen Daniels.
Owen Daniels, you're going to see him, number 81. He starts to the left to a corner route, and then he breaks it all the way across the middle of the field. Geno Hayes, the Sam linebacker, is the one responsible in coverage. Joe Flacco fools the defense, gets everybody flowing to the right, throws across his body, and connects one more time with Owen Daniels.
Well, they'll mark it at the 3. It's 1st and goal from the 3. Baltimore down by 2. Off the play fake to Pierce. Flacco to wide open Daniels. Touchdown Ravens. Well, who says they need to run the football?
But the play action pass is deadly. Owen Daniels at the line of scrimmage. Jonathan Cyprien with his eyes in the backfield, playing run all the way. And Flacco puts it right on him. That drive, utilizing the play action pass, just torched that Jacksonville secondary.
23rd touchdown pass of the year for Flacco. 6 plays, 80 yards. Tucker's point after is good. And Jacksonville is on top. Or excuse me, Baltimore is on top 17-12 with 8:34 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Gary Kubiak told us the other day that Owen Daniels has been a godsend for his team because he now has 3 different players in 3 different offensive rooms that can tell the Ravens about his offensive style. And it certainly paid off at him on that last drive that resulted in the touchdown pass.
This is what we call a tendency breaker. Flacco is going to roll all the way out to the left. And normally that means Owen Daniels goes to the corner route, but the last second he's going to break back across the middle of the field. And when you have a strong arm like Flacco, you give him time to set up. You see Daniels break across the middle. He loses the coverage. Nice job of fooling that Jacksonville secondary and getting an explosive pass play.
All right, now Jacksonville down by 5. They trailed today. The pass out of the backfield to Gerhardt. He slips 1 tackle. He got away from Darrell Smith. And Timmy Jernigan in on the tackle. Boy, I like this Jernigan kid. He really is coming of age these last 2 weeks. What did the Ravens say to us? That Haloti Ngata will play as soon as he's eligible to play. But him being out has enabled this defensive line to just get better and better because they're accepting more responsibility. Gerhardt runs on 2nd down.
Well, I agree with you. This is a tremendous experience that Jernigan is going to get here in the month of December. And to allow the rest of those guys up front like Brandon Williams and Jernigan and Chris Canty to get that experience and not have that rock next to them, if they can in fact get to the playoffs, that'll do nothing but make this defensive line even better.
Emphatically, John Harbaugh said Haloti Ngata will be back in the lineup when he's eligible. It's 3rd down. Let's see if Bortles can convert out of the shotgun. Lofts it to the near side. Incomplete, intended for Cecil Shorts. Flags come in.
Uh-oh.
Asa Jackson is hurt. He's been hurt a handful of times this year.
Pass interference, offense, number 84. This penalty is declined. The result to the play creates 4th down.
Asa Jackson had a bad toe that caused him to miss 8 games. He went down quickly after this play was over.
Immediately. This was perfect coverage. And it's hard to see exactly what happened. You see him grabbing that right knee.
Oh, man.
You hope that it was just a matter of Shorts falling on it.
Well, Jacksonville will be forced to punt. We'll see what happens when we return.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. The world needs more Straight Talk. And by McDonald's, official sponsor of the NFL. I'm loving it.
Well, it's the 2nd 3 and out of this half for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They had the lead 12-10 when we began the 2nd half, but Anger will have to punt away. Jacoby Jones back deep to receive. Oh, they flip it forward. Taufo is going to have the 1st down. We mentioned it before. Coaches around the league say the Jaguars have the most trick plays in football, and that's the second one today.
That was awesome. I don't think I've ever seen this type of fake punt. I mean, this is great. Watch Tofo'o. We're going to get a little kind of a shovel pass once the rush declares.
Well designed. That's a 19-yard gain.
That was bravo, Gus Bradley. That was nice.
All right, so onside kick and now a fake punt. What else do the Jaguars have to do as the timeout is called?
Well, hopefully not take a timeout in the third quarter.
Well, they just did. Let's watch it again, folks around the country. If you're looking for a fake punt play, this one is ideal.
This is very well done. Will Tofo'o is the up back. And just a little shovel pass after the rush declares. He got great blocking by the inside. And when you're sitting here, Tom, you have 2 wins. You're trying to get a spark. You're playing what was, coming into this game, one of the hotter teams in the NFL. You got to try everything. And so far, special teams, they've done a good job. Now, last time they weren't able to capitalize. They had to punt it away after the onside kick. When you get a team, you got to make them pay for their mistake.
It'll be first down for the 46. They have earned a timeout. There's Lee in motion. The handoff is given to Gerhardt, and Gerhardt has a first down inside the 44. Sean Melvin makes the tackle. Gain of almost 11 on that play.
Yeah, that's a nice hard run inside by Gerhardt. He got an excellent block by his fullback, Will Tofo'o, just one play after getting the first down after the fake punt.
Again, no huddle offense for the Jaguars on first down from the 44. Gerhardt running left. He got a block. Tofo'o freed him down close to the 40. Well, we said they have a lot of trick plays and special teams for Gus Bradley. As Adam said, they have 2 wins. Why not? An onside kick and a fake punt.
Yeah, but you know what I say to that, though? They've lost special teams because they gave up a touchdown on special teams. Right now, they've been able to get them, but they haven't converted that into points. So far, the Ravens special teams doing the better job because they scored.
Excellent point. Second down a bit less than 6. Ravens showing blitz. The handoff is given to Storm Johnson, trying to string himself out. Nothing there. Pernell McPhee is the one, or excuse me, Courtney Upshaw is the one who slowed him just with his presence. And then Melvin cleaned it up from behind.
Such a tremendous job at the outside backer spot by number 91, Courtney Upshaw, who plays on first and second down for Elvis Dumerville. He beats the cut block of the fullback, stays outside, and makes a tackle for a loss.
So he's out. Dumerville is in. It's third down. Under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Bortles has time, throws to the middle. It's complete and then ripped out of the hands by Rashawn Melvin. The officials are going to say it's an incomplete pass.
Pass was ruled incomplete.
Wow.
I really thought Cecil Shorts came up with it. Let's watch it again.
Well, Cecil Shorts never got possession. That was clear. The question is, does Melvin gain possession? No, it looks like the ball hit the ground.
It's a good call. The nose of the football did hit the ground. Now,
there's no possession right there by Shorts.
You're right. Boy, it looked like he had control of it, but the nose of the football did hit the ground. And here comes the challenge flag. John Harbaugh figuring, why not? Up by 5. Let's challenge this. That Melvin did have command as the ball was bobbled into his hands. They're saying the nose of the football did not hit the ground and he had control of it.
Baltimore's challenging and the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
Right. 5-point lead. We'll get the challenge when we return.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed as an incomplete pass. It will be Jackson Ball's Eagles ball, 4th down. Baltimore will be charged with their first timeout.
All right, so Baltimore is down with 2 timeouts. Let's take a look at it one more time. Adam, I think you were right on with what you said. The ball's loose right there, and the nose of it hits the turf.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect picture of what happened. I mean, that was that close. It was a good play by Rashawn Melvin to force the 4th down. Almost a wonderful play.
Ladarius Webb back deep to receive for the Ravens. He'll call for the fair catch, and he stopped at the 8. Jaguars came in a little hot on that. All right, Mike Carey is our officiating expert. He's had a chance to review this. Mike, is this the right decision by the officials?
Yes, it's the right decision by them, and you guys had it right too. You can see that the ball is pinned between the 2 players. Nobody has control of it, and as they roll to the ground, the point hits. That's an easy one to confirm and a very difficult one to get right on the field.
I have to say, our angles have been outstanding. Mike, the one we're looking at right now is pretty clear where you can see the nose of the football hit the turf. The angles have been outstanding on these replays.
Absolutely, just great work.
Well, thank you, Mike. We appreciate that. Juszczyk is in motion. It'll be first down from inside the 10 for the Ravens. Here's Forsett. And Forsett was trying to find a hole, but J.T. Thomas, boy, the middle linebacker closed quickly and was able to wrap him up.
He did a tremendous job of beating first Jeremy Zuttah, who was trying to climb up to him. He swam him, then got up inside and made the tackle. I think he's having a heck of a ball game so far today against the run.
Yeah, they're down by 5, but the Jaguars defense has really been very good against the run of the Ravens this afternoon. Flags come in. Somebody moved.
False start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Another self-inflicted penalty. I mean, they have not helped themselves out on 1st and 2nd down with their penalties today.
Remember, this is a Ravens team. If they win their last 3 games, they're in the postseason. You know, they realize that.
And a great chance to win their division.
They have signs all around their complex, WIN, which obviously stands for win, but also what's important now. And Torrey Smith is hit from behind, and here come the flags. Aaron Colvin, the rookie from Oklahoma, was in on the coverage. You played a long time in the secondary. What did you see on this particular play?
Well, I think he got a grab on the jersey of Torrey Smith.
Officials are conferring inside the 40. And here's Tony Correnti.
Pass interference, defense. Hold the receiver to the ground after the feet were tangled. Ball will be placed in spot of the foul, automatic 1st down.
Well, you got one of the bright young players for this defense who has done a terrific job in the last 3 weeks. Oh, man, I don't know. I thought initially that maybe he grabbed the jersey, but as we take a look at this, boy, their feet got tangled up. I think that was a poor call.
Well, it's a 30-yard gain on the penalty, and Flacco throws to Smith complete at the 45. Another flag comes in. Chris Clemens is saying he was held by Eugene Monroe.
Holding, offense, number 60. 10-yard penalty, repeat 1st down.
Chris Clemens was trying to give a high five to Tony Correnti after he saw the flag come down.
That's contact with an official.
Yeah, Tony was not buying it, though.
Well, it's 1 step forward, 2 step back. They get bailed out by kind of a phantom pass interference call after the false start. And now, after what was a great play, getting them out of bad field position, you back it up with another hold, and here you go, 1st and 20 one more time.
They need to get to the 49 of Baltimore for a 1st down. Forsett flanked out of the backfield. Flacco has time, dumps it off, and Daniels just dropped it. Couple drops today for the tight ends. Let's go to New York with JB.
Steelers keeping it going.
Yeah, right here you can see Le'Veon Bell is going to take this handoff, take it up the left side for 13 yards for his 2nd touchdown today. Pittsburgh is up 27-13.
Tom McCarthy, Adam Archuleta, and Ali LaForce.
You know, JB, it's interesting. This AFC North, at no time since the merger in 1970 has a division had every team finish above the 500 mark by the end of the season. Well, all the teams in the AFC North are above the 500 at this point. Pierce on 2nd down and 20. A little bit of a surprise there, Adam?
Certainly that's a pretty conservative call for Gary Kubiak, but I guess maybe to his defense on 1st down, they tried to throw a pass. There was great protection. Owen Daniels drops that pass. A lot of times on 1st down, offensive coordinators, if they get an incomplete pass on 1st down, they try and run it on 2nd down to try and assure themselves of getting positive play. That time, you're still looking at 3rd and 15.
Yeah, 3rd and 15. Again, they got to get to the 49 of Baltimore for 1st down. Black out of the shotgun, scrambling a little bit. Cedric Marks has him. He dumps it off to Marlon Brown, and Brown is stopped at the 43-yard line. J.T. Thomas, Telvin Smith.
That was a terrific job by Cedric Marks, essentially beating the double team right here with both the right guard and the right tackle. Almost is able to get to Flacco, but Flacco dumps it off to Marlon Brown. Nice job rallying by that Jacksonville defense and forcing the Ravens to punt.
Sanders back deep to receive. Marks told us yesterday that when he was with the Titans, they didn't think he could rush the passer. He left there. He came to the Jaguars as that ball was nearly blocked. And it bounces above the 5 and out of bounds at the 7. This was awfully close. Sam Cook at that point is thinking, I got plenty of time. Reynolds came in with his back toward the football.
Yeah.
All right, so now Jacksonville down by 5. They're in a precarious spot from the 7. Toby Gerhart in the backfield. He's had most of the reps here this afternoon. Lee in motion. Bortles to throw. Flags come in, and the ball, I believe, was tipped at the line and floated over the head of Lee. There was a flag thrown from the near side. That penalty will go against Jacksonville. Tony Correnti asking John Harbaugh what he wants to do.
Illegal motion. Offense number 11 was in the line of scrimmage and went in motion. This penalty has been declined. 2nd down.
So 2nd down and 10. Here's Marquise Lee.
Tom, how about Elvis Dumerville working right here on the right tackle, Sam Young? How about this for getting leverage underneath his pads and bull rushing him right back into Blake Bortles' lap? I think when this offense has been able to neutralize that pass rush, they've been able to move the ball down the field. So for them, protection and giving Bortles time has been the key for them moving the ball down the field.
The head linesman and Tony Correnti stopped this play.
The question was whether or not the penalty was declined, which it was, creates 2nd down.
Just trying to clean it all up for us.
I appreciate that explanation.
Yeah. 2nd down and 10. You highlighted Dumerville. He's almost a foot smaller than Sam Young. It's incredible. Here's Gerhart on 2nd down. And he is spun down by Jeremy Miles, the 5th-year pro out of UMass. Just a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd down and long.
This is one of those tough situations. You're looking at 3rd and 7 right now. You've got a ferocious pass rush with Terrell Suggs and Elvis Dumerville coming off the edge. You can't afford the Ravens defense to make a big play right now. You've got to get the ball out of your hands quickly. Give your wide receiver, somebody like Marquise Lee, the chance to catch and run with the ball.
3 receivers to the near side. Bortles looking to the far side. He throws. It's complete to Mercedes Lewis. And he has the 1st down. Miles in on the tackle. Well-designed play right there.
A crucial grab by Mercedes Lewis against C.J. Mosley, the rookie, in pass coverage. This is actually pretty good coverage by Mosley, staying on that inside hip against an outbreaking route, but really it was the throw and the timing between Bortles and Lewis.
Bortles is hit by Jernigan as he gets rid of that one. That was a hit. On first down, under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Not much for Gerhart. Darryl Smith, Jernigan, all there.
I tell you what, Timmy Jernigan is showing me something. He had he played the most that he's played last week against the Miami Dolphins. You've seen him make his presence felt with the inside pass rush right there, just working and scraping and clawing to make plays on the line of scrimmage. He's got a bright future.
Got a bright future, and you think about the complement on that line if they get to the postseason, if Haloti Ngata does come back healthy and ready to go. The end of the third quarter here in Baltimore. The score, the Ravens 17, Jacksonville 12. We'll return to Baltimore after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Next Sunday, the playoff push comes to shove. First, Alex Smith and the Chiefs. Big Ben and the Steelers sound off. Then Andrew Luck and the Colts tough it out. Tony Romo and the Cowboys and Big D. It all starts with JB, Tony Martin, coach, and Boomer on the NFL Today. We begin the fourth quarter. That's the score line right now. Bortles off the play fake on second down. And he just drops inside the 20. Sack number 5. That would be what you call a coverage sack right there.
Well, he was trying to look downfield. Everything was covered. He couldn't find his wide receiver. Linebackers getting great depth. And then you see, again, Timmy Jernigan working against Luke Bowanko, the center, and getting to Blake Bortles for his second sack of the game.
So it'll be third down and long. They need to get to the 37. Jernigan 2 sacks today, 5 overall for the Ravens. The slant to Hearns is complete up to the 30. So just a little breathing room now for Jacksonville. And they'll have to punt the ball back. Well, if you're the Ravens, you have to win out to assure yourself a chance to get to the postseason. You're in a dogfight here today because you're not really getting a whole lot going offensively against this Jacksonville defense.
No, not at this point. The pass rush is just too much to take advantage of that depleted Ravens secondary.
Jacoby Jones back deep to receive. Jones will get a chance to return this one. He's got some blockers. He'll start inside the 15, running to the near side. And along the sidelines, out of bounds at about the 35.
Timmy Jernigan with his second sack of the game. Excited, loving his time here in the National Football League.
Welcome back. 17-12 Ravens. I have an injury update. Asa Jackson will not return. Another huge blow to the Ravens secondary that's already suffering from numerous injuries. Guys?
Yeah, Allie, 3 guys out coming into this ball game. Jackson just returned. Here's Forsett on first down, and that's only his second 6-yard carry of the day. NFL fans, order your holiday gifts from NFLshop.com today to save 20% and get free shipping for over $50 at the official store of the NFL. Adam, I always wondered about where you needed the most depth on a football team. The way John Harbaugh was talking when we were meeting with him on Friday, it's probably the secondary that you need the most depth.
Well, that's been the case. They lost Aaron Ross in the preseason. Jimmy Smith went down. Last week they put Danny Gore on injured reserve.
Here's Forsett up to the first down marker. Let's go to JB in New York.
Tony's old team fighting back.
Here come the Falcons. Matt Ryan's going to hit my boy, the old man, Roddy White, in the back of the end zone for the 4-yard touchdown. Pittsburgh up 27-20. But here come the Falcons.
Back to Tom McCarthy.
The fact that Tony Gonzalez is calling Roddy White the old man is making me feel like an old man.
Tony I'm sure he got plenty of old man when he was playing last year, so now he gets to dish it out a little bit.
12:20 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Justin Forsett just ran for the first rushing first down of the day for the Ravens. Gain of 2 at second down and 8. Well, you were talking about the corners that have been lost for the Ravens, and here we go. Danny Gore last week, the knee injury, out for the season. Anthony Levine was injured last week with a concussion, came back, was injured earlier today, is able to play here this afternoon, but was out for most of the first half.
Yeah, they just signed Antoine Cason from the who was released from the Carolina Panthers earlier this week. He wasn't able to get up to speed enough in the playbook, so he was inactive this week. but he has certainly limited Dean Pease' ability to call aggressive defense.
Second down and 8. Torrey Smith is getting involved here in the second half. In front of Josh Evans, a gain of 13.
Three-step pass, and Flacco waits for Telvin Smith to clear the middle before he throws a dart to Torrey Smith on a quick slant.
See the selections today: 16 runs, 26 passes. The Ravens just have so much balance. If one thing isn't working, they can go to the other part of their game. And Gary Kubiak has such a fast offense. First down from the 40. Bernard Pierce. He is stood up by Red Bryant.
Well, you know, the thing is, when you talk about the Ravens and their balance that they have on offense, and to me, as I look at this game, they really haven't had a chance to work the offense that Gary Kubiak wants to run. You've seen numerous penalties on first down. They've been behind schedule. They haven't been able to get any movement on the line of scrimmage against that defensive line. And so that severely limits how Gary Kubiak likes to call his game plan.
Gary Kubiak, we talked to him on Thursday night. He said he likes the fact that he's a coordinator because he's back in the classroom. He said he loves that part of this game. Steve Smith Sr. with the completion to the 31. Well, he's just dicing them up now for these short pass plays.
And he's working on Aaron Colvin, the rookie, who came back a few weeks ago off of that torn ACL that he suffered in the Senior Bowl, and he's been playing inside in their nickel spot. Big question was, when was he going to be able to move to the outside? Well, today shows you what they think of him coming in there and playing against Steve Smith Sr. in one-on-one coverage.
Here's third down. Watch Flacco. He may keep it himself on this, and he tries to, and he slides forward. I don't know if he got that or not. The Jaguars are saying no.
I don't think so, Tom. Unless he really fell forward there at the last second. I think he got stymied by Red Bryant and Derek Marks inside.
Boy, great pressure up front. They did stop him. He had come in 11 for 12 on 3rd and short or 4th and short this year. So make that 11 for 13.
Well, one thing you can say is this defensive line has done their part today for Jacksonville.
All right, so now a 49-yard field goal attempt for Tucker. He's 1 for 2 today. And a delay of game call.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Wow.
Remains 4th down.
Boy, that's a frustrating penalty right there.
Oh, how sloppy is that? I mean, the look right there on John Harbaugh's face says everything.
Joe Flacco very rarely shows any emotion. John Harbaugh, well, it's a little different story.
You mean Flacco doesn't have the Harbaugh gene?
This will be a 54-yard attempt now for Tucker. High snap handled. Kick is on its way. And it hits the upright. No good. It's the second miss of the day for Tucker. .8:28 to play here in the 4th quarter. We've got ourselves a ball game. The upright got in the way for Tucker.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Walmart, where you'll find unbeatable prices on this year's top gifts. Verizon XLTE on America's largest, most reliable 4G LTE network. And by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
Taking a look at Fort McHenry, which was so big in the War of 1812. What has been big here today? Well, the Jaguars' defense has been outstanding, plus a couple of missed field goals. Here's Bortles on first down. Tough pass to Lee. And because he had to extend himself a little bit, Matt Elam's able to make that tackle. All right, how about this, Adam? Boom. That 5-yard penalty was huge.
Ravens are allergic to scoring points today. That's one of their most consistent weapons that they have. And now for the second time today, misses a field goal. That's 6 valuable points for the Ravens.
Missed one earlier after a high snap. Missed one there after a 5-yard penalty. And now Bortles on second down. See what he's done today, 18 completions. Storm Johnson in the backfield off the play fake. Here comes the pressure, and Bortles goes down. C.J. Mosley, his 3rd sack of the year, and it's sack number 6 of the day.
A delayed blitz. We have heavy outside pressure by Suggs in Dumerville, and Mosley's going to come right here at the very last second, just as Blake Bortles tries to step up in the pocket. He sees it, he closes in, makes a fantastic play.
See Mosley wearing that wrap on that left wrist. It's an injury from college. It doesn't bother him during the game. It's 3rd down and 15. Extra pass protection in the backfield for Bortles. He's rolling, he's in trouble, he's down! And Bortles is limping off. Suggs and McPhee in on the sack. It's number 7 for the Ravens.
Pernell McPhee caused this play. He's standing up, and he gets a big push up inside against Zane Beadles in the center, Luke Bowenko. He comes inside, and then Suggs just working over there on Luke Jokel. Once Bortles tries to flush the pocket and gets a cleanup sack.
McPhee, such a great story. Didn't start playing high school football until he was a senior. Here's Jacoby Jones from the 20. Eludes 1 defender. Comes back across the field. Flags come in. And he's down at the 35. Trawick may be called for that penalty, the holding penalty. Brendan Trawick is the 2nd-year pro out of Troy. Tony Correnti's crew has been rather busy here this afternoon.
Sometimes a little too busy.
Right. Well, yeah, that's a hold.
Yeah.
I would think that's the definition of a hold.
Very clear.
During the return of the kick, holding receiving team number 28. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
How about when he was coming out of the pile, he's pulling his hands back saying, it wasn't me, it wasn't me. But it was. Defense has been unbelievable today for the Ravens. This could be a defining drive for the Ravens, up 17-12 with 6:23 to play here in the 4th quarter. They haven't managed a whole lot on the grounds, but they may need to lean on the running game here. Joe Flacco probably understands that better than anybody. This is the guy who's on pace for over 4,000 yards. They haven't been able to get their 1,000-yard rusher going here this afternoon. Forsett is the deep man in the I formation. Flacco looking to throw, has time, looking for Daniels, and he can't get it to him. A lot of contact between Cyprien and Daniels.
A lot of contact. Big question to me is, did Jonathan Cyprien, was he turning and playing the ball, and was contact with his body? If that was the case, then it was great coverage. Cyprien just falls. He just trips.
So now 2nd down for the Ravens. Smith Sr. and Torrey Smith to the outside. Flacco will dump it off to Forsett, and he stops. Gino Hayes with the tackle. Defining drive for the Ravens, but I guess you can say the same for the Jaguars at this point. If they can stop the Ravens here, get it back, and maybe muster something off the arm of Blake Bortles. He seems like he's okay after he was limping a little bit ago.
A big 3rd down here for both teams. As you said, the Ravens would love nothing more than to run their 6-minute offense, get deep into Jacksonville territory. And right now, the Jacksonville defense looking at 3rd and 11 with a chance to give their quarterback great field position, only down by 5.
Remarkable. This is only the 10th 3rd down attempt for the Ravens. Flacco running out of time, rolls to the near side, and he throws across his body. Incomplete. Cyprien in on the coverage. Owen Daniels, the intended receiver.
Great escapability from Flacco. Heavy pressure, Flacco. Heavy pressure coming from his right side, but the Jacksonville loses contain. He tries to get it to Owen Daniels, but Jonathan Cyprien, the talented 2nd-year safety right there, and is able to defend that pass.
So that drive didn't take much time at all. So with 5:23 to play, Jacksonville will get it back as Cook will punt from his 1. Just a 1-minute drive. And this is a nice punt. Sanders back inside the 30, but he got a tackle, he got a block, and he slips down and is taken down at the 40. There is a flag down on the field. Flag sits on the far side. Looks like it's going to be holding against the Ravens. And I say that because Tony Corrente is talking to Gus Bradley right now about what he wants to do.
Holding, kicking team number 86. Jacksonville has opted to have the 10-yard penalty added to the end of the play. First down.
I think that's the right play because that's going to move the ball out toward midfield. So Gus Bradley's team down by 5 with the ball when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Intel. This is where it all changes. And by Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most awarded SUV ever.
Next week, the Thursday night football season wraps up with a special Saturday edition. It all starts with Philadelphia traveling to Washington on NFL Network at 4. And then San Diego visits San Francisco on CBS and NFL Network with coverage beginning at 7:30. Well, after the penalty, the holding penalty on the Ravens, it's a net punt of 35 yards. I think it's a good decision for Gus Bradley. They got to the 40. The holding moves it to midfield, and now they've got half the football field to try to take the lead. On first down, Bortles. Quick drop, slant pass, complete to Cecil Shorts for a first down, and he gets inside the 40-yard line.
Nice, really nice job after the catch by Cecil Shorts. As soon as he caught that ball, he turned to the outside, avoided contact from Matt Elam coming from inside out, and was able to get a few extra yards. See him stop right there immediately.
5 catches, 54 yards for Shorts. Here is Toby Gerhart. And it will be second down. I should say 64 yards for Cecil Shorts. We've got some players slow to get up. Brandon Linder, the rookie from Miami. We'll keep an eye on him. We'll give you an update when we return to Baltimore. Tonight, our dangerous mentally ill patients denied care. A 60 Minutes investigation. Tonight, only CBS. Brandon Linder is up on his feet, walking off. That's a good sign. He was sort of in a log jam with Toby Gerhart. Watch as he gets bent back here. Oh, he's got his own teammate that fell on top of him. 6'6", 311 pounds. I think it was Luke Jokel, 6'6", 306 pounds on top of him.
He's been their best offensive lineman this year as a rookie.
Great sign for the Jaguars. Bowenko and Linder, 2 rookies. On second down, Bortles, quick pass to the outside, and Hearns out of bounds. All right, so this is going to bring up a third down, Adam, and not short. Third down at about 6 for the Jaguars.
Yeah, this is critical. Jacksonville has to try and do something that they haven't been able to do very often. Only touchdowns in 2 of their last 44 drives of the season. So right now, you're looking at 3rd and 6 with 4 minutes left. You may not get the opportunity to get the ball back, so this is 4-down territory.
Todman is in the backfield. Lewis, the tight end on the right side of the offensive line, and Todman is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. McPhee again.
McPhee has had a terrific game. He's lined up in a 3-point stance this time. We've seen him on 3rd down standing up, and he splits the right guard and the right tackle, and that's the substitute. That's right where Brandon Linder, their best offensive lineman, should have been playing.
Well,
and McPhee makes him pay.
It's 4th down for all the marbles for Jacksonville. They're 5 of 14 on the year on 4th down. The pressure's coming. Bortles to the far side, and it is caught by Shorts. Is he out of bounds? He is. And Baltimore will take over on downs. Melvin in on the coverage. And Gus Bradley saying, did you see that? He thought there was a penalty and a flag should have been thrown. What do you think, Adam?
I thought this was excellent coverage by Rashawn Melvin. Press coverage. And look at how he uses his body. He pins Shorts to the sideline. There's absolutely zero room to operate. Shorts is out of bounds before the ball even gets there. One of the very few times we've seen this Ravens secondary challenge receivers and win downfield.
So now first down. Gus Bradley's team back on defense with 3:21 to play in the fourth quarter. Baltimore on top by 5. Marlon Brown in motion. The handoff to Forsett. Starts right, cuts back left. And Cyprien takes him down at the 40 after a gain of 3. And a timeout called by Jacksonville. All right, so again, we laid it out during the open of our telecast today for Baltimore. They went out, they're in the postseason. I mean, you've got an AFC North with every team above 500. Every single team. But to control your own destiny like Baltimore does, that's what you want if you're John Harbaugh.
Yeah, and right now you've already lost the ability to win pretty. And so now you have to be able to win ugly. And you're going up against a team that only has 2 victories. You haven't been able to get anything going outside of a few play action passes on your offense. Your offensive line has got stuffed by the Jacksonville front 4. You haven't been able to get a running game going. And so right now you've got to find a way to just close out this game, live to play next week. Hopefully you can get it together and try and end this season on a high note and win your division.
After the timeout, it's second down from just inside the 41. High formation for Set again. He's assessing, and there's not much there. He gains maybe a yard. Another timeout called by Jacksonville. All right, so our keys coming into this ball game, I think rightfully so. Run, Forsett, run is the key for the Ravens. That hasn't happened, but have the Jaguars played 4 quarters of football?
I think they have. And here's the thing. They haven't been able to score points, but they haven't been able to do that the entire season. Defensively, they have come to play today. They have shut down one of the best offenses in the National Football League. And I think in Baltimore's case, you can see it. The inability to get Justin Forsett loose and establish that running game has taken away so many more options for Joe Flacco to get the ball to his wide receivers.
Jacksonville, no timeouts left with 3:10 to play. Blake Bortles is hoping that he gets the ball back one more time. Kind of just adds to his growth as a quarterback if he can have his second come from behind victory of the year. On third down, Flacco will keep it himself, running for the first down. He's got it! Out of bounds inside Jacksonville territory. It's like the days of Delaware for Joe Flacco.
How about this call by Gary Kubiak? Empty formation. Let's motion Steve Smith Sr. to the left. Let's let him capture our attention, and let's get our big right tackle, Ricky Wagner, out on the edge and let Joe Flacco run for the first down on 3rd and 5.
That is the longest run of the day for the Ravens, 10 yards at a first down. Pierce is in. Clock winds, or clock stop 3:04. It'll continue to move because Jacksonville cannot call a timeout. Here's Pierce. Pierce dancing into the open field. Along the far side of the field, and Evans will knock him out of bounds. Now that's the biggest run of the day for the Ravens.
The shades of the Miami game last week. Bernard Pierce going to come right off of that right side, and it was last week in that fourth quarter when the Baltimore running game was able to gash the Miami Dolphins. Bernard Pierce, one of those running backs, and here, when you need it the most, Flacco comes through with a quarterback sweep to pick up the first down, and then Pierce comes in and essentially puts the dagger in the nail in the coffin.
28-yard run. It's first down from the 20. At a timeout call by Baltimore.
Baltimore, this is their second 30-second timeout.
Coming up on the Subway postgame show, join JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Subway postgame show. 2:59 to play. Gary Kubiak's offense is picking up some yards on the ground. All right, this is what we talked about coming in. The Ravens on the outside looking in. Pittsburgh is 1, so now they're 9-5. Indianapolis has the upper hand, or excuse me, Cincinnati has the upper hand because of their tie.
Yep.
They won. They're 9-4-1 now.
I think it's going to come down to week 17.
Forsett in the backfield. Final week of the season. Pittsburgh takes on Cincinnati, and Forsett breaks a tackle. Somebody lost their hat, and he's down close to the 15. Yeah, the final week of the regular season, the Ravens take on the Browns, and Cincinnati takes on Pittsburgh. This is a crazy division, the AFC North. I mean, you have the NFC South where everybody's under 500. You have the AFC North where everybody's over 500.
Yeah.
And here are the Ravens. They're milking it as much as they can because the Jaguars can't stop the clock. 2nd down and 5 from the 15. Forsett following the block of Juszczyk, and he is stopped at the line of scrimmage. Cyprien came up. Geno Hayes is there. Senderick Marks too. And that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Well, nothing's been easy for John Harbaugh's squad, but he knows they win today, they win the last 2 weeks, they're in the postseason. A reminder, coming up on the Subway postgame show, join JV, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Subway postgame show. A lot to talk about as we head toward the final couple weeks of the regular season. It is 3rd down and 5 for the Ravens. Forsett, Ian Pierce has been a workhorse on this drive, and really nothing going there. He stopped again, no gain. It'll be 4th down. And the Ravens will settle for a field goal attempt, even though Tucker's missed a couple. So Bortles, without any timeouts, will have a chance to get the ball back.
He's got a chance. Rookie quarterback, remember a few weeks ago, he led Jacksonville in a come-from-behind victory against the New York Giants. Now, they only needed a field goal to win that football game, but this is kind of what you dream about if you're a quarterback.
Yeah, they'll need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion if Tucker can make this one. A lot of terms. This is a chip shot.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. 33-yard field goal attempt for Tucker. This one is a little easier than the 2 54-yarders that he missed. One of the best in the game. You know, he's frustrated because he could have iced this game earlier for Baltimore, but he gives them an 8-point lead with 1:11 to play here in the 4th quarter. The Jaguars will get it back in a 1-possession game. Well, Blake Bortles continues to come of age, but man, the Ravens defense has been exactly what we thought today.
Well, they have 2 of the best sack masters in the National Football League, Elvis Dumervil and Terrell Suggs. But we got a new member of that bunch. Timmy Jernigan himself has been able to chip in with 2 sacks on his own with pressure up the middle. So I can't imagine how offensive linemen feel when they have to go up against that type of a pass rush. Dean Pease is just looking at right there. Has a lot of toys to play with in that garage of his.
7 sacks today, 44 on the year for the Ravens. 44. And there is Timmy Jernigan. He'll get a chance to get out there again. Obviously, you know, playing helps somebody's experience. It seems like these last 2 weeks have really helped Jernigan evolve as a defensive lineman.
He's been able to take advantage of his opportunities, and that's really all you can ask for, that when you do get your chance, and you never know exactly when that's going to be, can you deliver? And I think he has.
Tucker's going to pop this one right over the head of Todman, so the Jaguars, down by a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, will begin this drive from the 20. Blake Bortles has one come-from-behind victory in his professional career. It came a couple weeks ago, as Adam said, against the Giants. This is the culmination of what's been an incredible weekend here in Baltimore. The Army-Navy game yesterday. Ravens and Jaguars here today. On 1st down from the 20, Bortles starts from the shotgun. 2-step drop, wobbles one to Cecil Shorts. He's got the 1st down. Again, Jacksonville can't stop the clock because they've used all their timeouts. So this will take us under a minute, and it'll continue to move. They've got to get out of bounds on some of these pass plays. Bortles to the sidelines, and Shorts can't come up with it. Bortles is knocked down. Melvin in on the coverage. Second down. Again, Melvin's in. Asa Jackson hurt earlier. He's out. Levine was hurt the first half. He came back. But they keep dipping into the depth of their secondary. On second down, Bortles is wrapped up and taken down. Pernell McPhee, 8th sack of the day for the Ravens defense.
Well, we've talked about Suggs, we've talked about Dumerville, we've talked about Jernigan. Let's not forget about the game that Pernell McPhee has had. He has been outstanding.
Again, Bortles is pressured. He dumps it off at the feet of Todman. It'll be 4th down with 27 seconds left. And Jernigan was right in his face as he dumped that one off.
It's tough. This is what this defense is built for. You cannot be behind in an obvious passing situation. They are out there right now going to hunt. They smell blood in the water. Very challenging place to be for a rookie quarterback. 4th and 19 with less than 30 seconds to go in the game, and you're trying to drive down the field.
1 for 2 today on 4th down. Bortles with 26 seconds to play. In trouble, rolling out. He's looking, throws on the run, downfield, intercepted. And that will do it. Jeremy Miles picks it off with 16 seconds to play. It's time for a victory formation for the Ravens.
It's a tough situation to be in. With this pass rush, it's almost impossible. But Jerry Miles playing deep safety. Bortles has no chance. It's his last down. He has to try and make something happen. He throws it down the field, and that's basically Miles catching a punt. He secures it, gives it back to the offense. Now Flacco can take a knee.
Flacco under center. Takes the snap, takes a knee, and the Baltimore Ravens, for the last couple weeks, have been involved in some regular season playoff football, and it continues this afternoon as they hang on and win it 20-12 over Jacksonville. Gus Bradley, John Harbaugh meet at midfield. The Ravens still alive in the race for the postseason.
It wasn't pretty. One of the uglier games. I know they're not going to like when they're able to turn on the film tomorrow, but the bottom line is you're in a playoff hunt. You have to win every game to ensure you make the playoffs, and they went out there, they did what they had to do to beat Jacksonville.
Pretty impressive to think about the fact that their running game was stopped for 3/4 of this football game. Joe Flacco passed a lot. He found Steve Smith Sr., he found Torrey Smith, he found Owen Daniels, and all that led to a 20-12 victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, 2 more weeks left of the regular season for John Harbaugh's team. As he said, every single game is a playoff game. You have to realize what's important now. And what's important now is that the Ravens have gone away with a victory. Oh, Joe Flacco, so cool, so confident. 20 of 30 here this afternoon helps his team to the victory. Final score: Baltimore 20, Jacksonville 12. Now for Adam Archuleta and also Ali LaForce, I'm Tom McCarthy. So long for Baltimore, everyone. Coming up, the Subway postgame show. We'll take you to New York for all the scores and highlights. It's all coming up right after this.